I remember asking Dorian, how did he celebrate when he won Mr. Olympia? And he said, what do you mean celebrate? He said, I was supposed to win. I went home that night and I started training the next day.
Once you become number one, you don't want to lose that position. You don't want to lose that spotlight. So you're thinking ahead of time as to how do I stay here? What do I need to do differently than what I've done before to keep me here, keep me on the top? Because when you're on the top, there's nowhere else to go but down. So you take your butt to work the next day.
It's one thing to become the king of the hill, but to stay on the hill when all the guys are coming up and the doubters and the naysayers and everything you deal with.
It's a whole nother level.
He was broke. He won the New York Night of Champions, and the guy was broke. He didn't have hardly any money at all. And I said, Dorian, I can offer you $250,000 for 3 years. And his eyes lit up, and he's like, oh my God. He said, let me go home and talk to my wife. And he said, Tom, I really, in my heart, in my soul, I believe I can be Mr. Olympia. But imagine turning down $250,000 a year when you're living basically on food stamps. But Dorian, he was committed. I sent him a telegram back then after you told me you could do it, and you did it. Congratulations.
Mass monster style. He was really at the bottom, and the only way he could get to see the world was battling his own will and going into that basement gym every day, you know, alone in England while all the guys were on Muscle Beach, you know, posing with the girls, and he was there, you know, pushing himself. He's there bleeding, sweating, maybe dying.
Dorian Yates raised the bar. The shadow, you can't break him. So we had to raise the bar. You know, it was nothing fun. There was nothing fancy about trying to take this guy out. This tells you what kind of spirit, what kind of thought process he's going through, you know, because he's going to make it work.
Cross-president!